Today on Sports Central, we'll be going over our next schedule preview this 2020 offseason, and it will be over the Arkansas Razorbacks. And this was a team that went 2-10 in 2019. Overall, was a pretty tough year for a team that certainly lost a lot of talent after 2018. But nonetheless, in this video, we're going to be going over a few players that Arkansas will be losing, who they're going to be returning, and also going over their schedule for the first time this offseason. So starting off with the games that Arkansas has had since November, they lost to Mississippi State on the 2nd, 24-54. They also lost to Western Kentucky 19-45, and that certainly was an absolutely terrible game. Probably the worst game that Arkansas has played in many years, I'm sure. Nonetheless, you also lost to LSU on the road 20-56, but LSU was out of the ordinary, so you can kind of consider that there. But then you also lost to Missouri 14-24 as well at home. So nonetheless, for Arkansas, they were 2-6 between September and October, and they went 0-4 between November and the end of the season. So yeah, once again for Arkansas, it overall was just a tough year for this team. Looking at the returning production for Arkansas though too, their 2019 starting quarterback Nick Starkel is transferring away from Arkansas, so he will not be with the team in 2020. They do lose their second quarterback Ben Hicks as well. So both of their top quarterbacks are going to be gone in 2020, which that may concern you, but I'll get to why you shouldn't be concerned in a couple minutes. Nonetheless, Nick Starkel had just over 1,100 yards of passing as well as 7 touchdowns and 10 interceptions. So overall, his touchdown-to-interception ratio is not very good at all. But yeah, Ben Hicks had some action as well, 700 yards as well as 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. So really, they did not have a very reliable quarterback all of the 2019 season. So, I mean, they're getting Felipe Franks in from Florida. He's transferring from Florida to Arkansas. And so it'll be really interesting to see what Felipe Franks is able to do in his season with Arkansas. And certainly, Franks is a much better quarterback than Nick Starkel or Ben Hicks, in my opinion. We saw Felipe Franks a couple of seasons ago. Of course, he was injured for the majority of 2019. In 2018, he actually played really well. He did have a tendency to throw more than a little interceptions, but I think that he'll do a great job with Arkansas. I certainly think he's got a lot more potential than Nick Starkel or Ben Hicks. They returned their top running backs, Rakeem Boyd and Whaley. Rakeem Boyd was a huge offensive player for this team. He actually led the team in yardage. He had over 1,200 yards of rushing, nearly 1,300, as well as 8 touchdowns. And then Whaley just had around 300. So nonetheless, yeah, returning their top running backs will be huge. They also return all of their wide receivers. That includes Woods and Burks. Treylon Burks had over 500 yards of offense. And then Mike Woods had over 400 yards and 4 touchdowns. So that's going to be really great to return all the wide receivers, no doubt about it. And it'll also be great for Felipe Franks, being able to have some experienced weapons on the offensive side. On the offensive line, they lose 2 starters, and then on the defensive line, they lose 3. So certainly this defensive line will be the big weak spot of the team going into 2020. And they also lose their linebacker, Harris, as well. He was a big part of this defense. But yeah, once again, though, tons of returning talent on both sides of the football. And then the offense will certainly improve in 2020. I mean, there's no doubt in my mind. I mean, you're basically returning your entire offense besides 2 offensive linemen and your quarterbacks that were less than mediocre. So really for Arkansas, they've got a ton of potential to improve. And if the defense does well, I mean, this Arkansas team could surprise a lot of people this season. I think that they've got potential to make a bowl game if the defense plays well. I think the offense certainly will be the bright spot for this Arkansas team in 2020. But yeah, looking at your schedule for the first time this offseason, you start off this season against Nevada on September 5th at home. And certainly that's a very winnable game, but I wouldn't say that that's a blowover game. So Arkansas is going to need to come to play in that one. And then on September 12th, you got Notre Dame on the road. Certainly going to be a tough one there. Then Mississippi State on the 19th. So 2 road games in a row right around the start of the season. You also have Texas A&M in a neutral location on September 26th. So really, their second home game is going to be in October against Charleston Southern, which is certainly another winnable game. And then you go through definitely the toughest stretch of the season when you got Alabama and LSU in back-to-back weeks. At least you have them at home. And you also have Tennessee at home, which I think Tennessee is a team that certainly has a lot of potential to do some really amazing things in this 2020 season. So yeah, for Arkansas, Tennessee is going to be a really tough opponent in my opinion. Then you got Auburn on the road too on November 7th. So those 4 games are certainly going to be a very tough stretch for Arkansas. And I think they've got potential to beat one of those teams. I'm not sure which one, but considering you got Alabama, LSU, and Tennessee at home, I think there is potential that Arkansas can pull a major upset there. Nonetheless, on November 16th, you got Ole Miss, Louisiana Monroe on the 21st, and then you finish off the season at Missouri on the 28th. And here's what I'm expecting. I'm going to give you 3 games right now. I say you beat Nevada and you beat Charleston Southern. Those are going to be guaranteed wins. And then I think that you're going to lose to Auburn. That's going to be your one guaranteed loss, in my opinion. With it being on the road in a place that's really tough to play at, and also coming down a stretch of playing Alabama, LSU, and Tennessee, I just do not see Arkansas winning that game at all. I don't even think they really have much of a chance. But yeah, once again, certainly I think Arkansas has a better chance to beat Alabama, LSU, or Tennessee other than Auburn. I mean, call me crazy, but it just makes all the sense, because when you play Alabama, really you haven't played a very difficult opponent. I mean, Texas A&M will be a tough game, certainly. But other than that, I think Alabama certainly will be a game that Arkansas could win this season. But yeah, your record estimation will be 4-8 to 6-6. I think that Arkansas will improve by at least 2 wins next season. They'll certainly be a better team in 2020 compared to how they were in 2019. I think, once again, there's much potential for Arkansas to go on to a bowl game if the defense plays well, though. I mean, this offense will certainly improve. There's no doubt in my mind about that, especially if Felipe Franks is able to bounce back and not be injured and play very well. I think, once again, Arkansas's got a ton of potential to do some pretty crazy things. But yeah, if this defense doesn't play well, I don't think it's going to happen. But yeah, once again, that about wraps up this video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below on Arkansas. Also, let me know your record predictions, your schedule predictions, etc. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. Thank you for all the support. Once again, let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And thank you guys all for watching. I will see you all later.